I am tired. I want to take a nap.
It was not just about soldiers, it was about human beings.
Without any judgment, I just wanted to tell their story.
Unlike some other folks here, we have the most to prove. Now is where you show the proof. This is our mission.
Guys,
Yes.
hello,
Hi.
and welcome to London.
Thanks.
I wonder, when you release something like this close to Christmas, what's it like for you guys? Because you fly to the other side of the world, you go on the trail of
What's
promoting
it like for
and
you,
stuff. But you've obviously got a mind of family time and shutting things down and downing tools. So what's going through your mind at a time like this? You're just waiting for that kind of end date, or you're just juggling all the different plans at
I
once?
can't wait to hear her answer. Kerry, what's it like for you? Tell me.
So we have a fellow producer, Nicole Avant, who talks about living her life as a thank you. And she has made this film in many ways to live her thank you to the women of the 6888. And I feel like the gift that they've given us in their legacy deserves to be celebrated. So I think we're mostly focused on paying forward the gifts they've given us to the public, making sure that people know who they are, that they're celebrating their legacy. We will have time after the movie's out to be with our family and friends, but this moment is really about them and for them. And so even if we have minutes here and there where we're like, I'm tired, or it's like what we're up against is nothing compared to what they were up against and what they showed up for. And
That is so good. That
we
is
are
so
here for them.
That's a good answer.
wonderful.
I'm seeing Tyler here and he's
Because
thinking,
I'm tired.
I've got this.
I am tired. I want to take a nap. But yes, we're here to honor
here
them.
for them.
We're here to honor them for sure. For sure.
Let's talk about the film. It got me thinking,
Okay,
which is
that's
always a
good.
danger.
That's good.
Whenever I watch movies or TV shows or engage in any sort of art to do with World War II, there's a strange comfort in it, because it feels like almost the last global conflict where there seemed to be no moral or political ambiguity. You think of it as uniting people. You grow up watching movies and hearing about it, and you all feel the same kind of thing. And you get more cynical as you get older, and you learn about more things that go on. When you tell a story like this, and you uncover truths like this and stories like this, and you kind of learn that there's always that moral ambiguity. Is that the thing that draws you to these stories? And do you perhaps even mourn the kind of the youthful, what's the word? Innocence, really, of the way we look at these stories?
For me, the 6888 in particular, I approached it from the point of view of just telling their story and not being in judgment of the characters, not being in judgment of what they went through, not being in judgment of any of that, but just telling their stories. And especially after meeting Lena King at 99 years old and seeing her leave the planet at 100, I felt this tremendous sense of honor to be able to be the steward of helping her story and the rest of the women of the 6888 get to the world. So without any judgment, I just wanted to tell their story. That makes sense.
How do you guys relate to a story like this? I mean, Tyler in particular, because we look at you as a figure, quite a fascinating figure in kind of modern entertainment, as someone who's undeniably one of the most successful people in the history of Hollywood, but who operates perhaps outside and around Hollywood a lot of the time. And you look at the plays that you got going and the TV shows and the movies and stuff, you weren't necessarily anointed by the studios. You kind of pushed stuff through. So did you read this story and learn about this story, and you're kind of I see myself in these characters, these people, and what they had to do and what they had to fight against?
I think more as a writer, when I was writing the story and after seeing this as a reel and seeing what they had went through and realizing it was a true story and doing all the research, but as a writer, as I would hear certain lines that I would write, I was like, whoa, that rings true. Whoa, that's on. That one landed with me. So I think that a lot of some of the most powerful moments that are coming through Charity in the time were actually coming through me, and things that I felt like I wanted to say as well.
I'm sure it must have hit home for you, Kerry, as well, because we look at characters and people. I keep saying characters, but these are real people from those times, and you think of them as being very kind of stoic, and you just see them in interviews, and they're all very kind of proper in the way that they talk and communicate about it. But what you brought to Charity was you kind of brought emotion, I think, in it, which exists in all of us. Was it important for you to be able to show that humanity, which we don't see so much in the newsreels and we don't often see in the interviews, but was clearly there at the time?
I think a lot of that was in the writing. I think Tyler wrote a script that was not just about soldiers, it was about human beings in a really heroic journey into circumstances that challenged them to be their best selves. But every single one of these, I mean, I think as producers, we're so proud to be bringing a story filled with all of these young actresses, like presenting them to the world. They're all so beautiful and talented and different, and their characters represent different points of view and regions and accents, and each one of them has their own emotional through line and three-dimensionality, and Charity Adams does as well. But I think a lot of that was in the writing, and it is a gift. I think it's part of why the material works, because you are emotionally invested in these women and their journeys. You understand the stakes of what they're up against. You don't just see them as soldiers, you really see them as people.